Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spill the RT episode 81. Hi, Josh. How are you doing today?
Hello, Amo, 81. Oh my goodness. Now we're really starting to get old.
We really are. Yeah, I
But
can
at the
feel it.
same
I can
time,
feel it in my face. I'm sagging.
I don't know about you, but I take a certain pride now. I was telling people about the podcast. It comes up
Mm.
randomly. It's not like I'm like, hey, I'm a podcaster. But people will be like, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I just shot this thing. And I was like, oh yeah, we just had our 2-year anniversary. Like they look at me differently now. They actually like, it's like, oh, you've been doing this for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's serious enough that like, yeah, I'm kind of proud of that.
We've
I really
created
am.
81 episodes, baby.
I,
That's a lot of episodes. That's a lot of
it's a
hours.
lot.
That's nearly 80 hours. Just so you
Yeah.
know. Are you
Just
fed?
imagine.
Are you fed up with me yet?
No, it's the opposite. You're the one that has to look at my face. We've talked about this before. I do all the pre, you do the post. So you're the one that has to
I'm
look at
looking
me.
for a Botox sponsor, if possible, for those tuning in through the
Are
visual
you saying
podcast.
are you saying I need Botox
You look
or
a
you
lot.
need
No,
it?
no, me. You look great. You look great, babe. You're living. You're loving. You're living.
I'm living the life.
Yeah,
This is as good as it gets after 50, folks.
living, laughing, loving. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah,
I'd say
exactly.
you have that over your kitchen counter, do you? Live,
I thought
laugh,
it was
love.
I thought it was eat, pray, love or some shit like that. Or
That's another one. I think that's a book. That's a
I don't
book.
know.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
my problem.
I've got my juice today. I have no spill the RT juice. I'll just cover the brand placements. I don't want to.
See, I did my homework. I came prepared with my collateral.
You did. I
Why?
barely
Because
got
you're
my
supposed
cap.
to. Why? Because you're supposed to like, share, subscribe, send it
Oh
to your
yes,
friends,
baby. Yes, baby. Look,
buy
and
some tchotchkes.
I've got a little new kind of little graphic for that too. See? Ooh, la la
I love
la.
it. See, we're totally professional after 2 years, folks. We're totally professional.
After 2 years.
Ready?
Right, let's do this. Tell us what the stories are this week, Josh.
Okay, so this week, long lost skeleton of D'Artagnan, the fourth musketeer, was discovered. The UK government plans to charge admission to the national museums for international visitors, but there's a catch. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha
Thieves
ha.
steal. Ha ha. Thieves steal a Renoir, a Cézanne, and a Matisse in less than 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 in and out in less than 3 minutes. The Japanese Museum of Face Rocks, pretty cool. And Jeff Koons has designed 2 bottles for Evian's 200th anniversary. All that and a brand new guest are up next as we spill the art tea. Welcome to episode 81.
Excellent.
81.
That's an absolute dream full of stories. So without further ado, let's bring in our guest, our 81st guest. Here it is. So it is Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. How are you today?
Jonathan.
Hi, I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
You look fabulously lit. Fabulously lit, Jonathan.
That will make sense. It'll make sense later. It'll make sense.
Yes, it will. So, Jonathan, we will talk about you and your work later on the show, but we have a whole pile of stories, as you've just heard, to get through. So let's get on with the first story, Josh. Where are we heading to first?
So let me ask you this, folks. Do you remember how many musketeers there are? When you think of musketeers, how many do you remember?
3.
3.
No, it
Everyone
was
thinks
4, right? It was like the 3 and then the guy coming in.
See, you actually know the story, Jonathan. Well done.
That wasn't the story I was told as a kid. That's all I'm saying.
Well, part of it is it's not called the Four Musketeers bar. It's called the Three Musketeers bar, right? So most of us, when we hear Musketeers, we think about the chocolate bar, I think, not even the story. If, however, you are, let's say, European educated, as Jonathan is, you're aware of the actual story here, where there was these 3 musketeers who found the 4th guy, right? The 4th guy was D'Artagnan. The other 3 or whatever their names were, I don't even remember. But the point is, they found his skeleton in a Dutch, I guess a Dutch cemetery.
Yeah.
The floor of a church.
D'Artagnan. And what did he bring into the fold, D'Artagnan?
Well, he was the one, that was the whole point, was these 3 people, and then they find this foundling, and they turn him into the 4th. They brought him into the fold. And so D'Artagnan was the outsider who became one.
It doesn't really have the same ring to it, though. The 4 musketeers, you know, things are better in 3s, are they not?
But that's the story. The 3 musketeers were traveling, and then they found the 4th.
Okay, I think this is ridiculous. Anyway, Jonathan, what do you
How
think?
do they know it's his skeleton?
I don't know.
It just is, okay? Don't ruin the story.
Right.
It's an interesting question. I don't know. Oh, no, you're right. So they found several objects that point to the possibility of it being his. There's a French coin.
Right.
There's a fragments of a musket ball. Apparently, he was killed by a musket ball during the siege of Maastricht in 1673. So, like the whole Three Musketeer, Four Musketeer story actually happened. It's like it didn't just become a Disney movie. It actually is based on reality, right? And so eventually, these people died in different ways. And apparently, D'Artagnan died defending Maastricht in the late 17th century.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very good. Very good. So they need to rewrite all of the stories now. All of the movies. They all need to bring him into the fold and make him shine.
So, of course, this is 2026, right? So they pull the DNA sample from the teeth. Okay, that's the thing, right? If you have the teeth, that's why when people get...
Oh, yes, they don't...
When they get unalived, as we're supposed to say for YouTube's sake, and then people decide to, like, disjoint them, right? It's called being jointed, where they separate the hands from the body and the head, and they remove the teeth because the teeth have the DNA that lasts the longest. So they extract the DNA.
Whose DNA do they compare to?
To living relatives. That you got to remember now that DNA analysis has billions and billions of samples, and it's all genetically linked. And so they'll find parallel cousin lines. They'll find people who are like last living relatives, and they'll be able to do sequence analysis. And so this is literally this is how murders get found. This is how bodies get identified, right? Because of this kind of technology.
All for one and one for all. There we go.
So it's not a confirmation, but they're pretty sure they have found the fourth musketeer. And so maybe now there'll be a new chocolate bar. I don't know. Just a thought. Or Mars. I guess it's Mars. Probably Mars company that owns them.
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard of the chocolate bar.
What chocolate?
Really?
What? No.
Oh, so for those who are not in the U.S., there's a chocolate bar called the Three Musketeer, which is literally like it's chocolate, nougat, and caramel, I think.
Oh, it sounds nice.
But it's the Mars company, Mars bars.
Yes, yeah.
But Three Musketeers is tremendously. I mean, I was saying for most American people, I guarantee you, other than maybe the Disney movie, most people don't even know the story. It's the chocolate bar that they remember.
Yeah, he can be the honeycomb. We'll give him honeycomb or something. Just sweet.
I don't know.
Anywho, that's boofed. Spilling that tea.
So we covered this before. Right, multiple countries are running to this issue. They're running out of money to keep their museums on. They want to have tourism in, but they can't. So the UK has decided now, guess what? We're going to start charging international visitors. But there is a wrinkle on this. Before they can do that, they have to issue all of you in the UK an ID card, a universal ID card, so that when you go to the museum, you're able to show that you are not a foreign visitor and, in fact, a card-carrying member of society. Yeah. So they can say they're going to start charging visitors. Eamon, you're there in London. Have you?
I am, but I don't have like a UK passport or a UK ID. So it's like
doesn't matter. As a resident, they're going to have to issue you some kind of universal ID card, right? Okay, so the US started this now 20 plus years ago after 9/11 to get what's called a clear ID, real ID. We all have to get special these things added to our driver's licenses. We're still to the point where more than half the country, 20 years later, you have to have these things to fly. They still don't have them.
Okay.
And they pay a fine. You pay a fine instead, or you use your passport instead. So trying to get everybody onto one ID. Now, our system is designed to not allow this in the first place, right? We're supposed to have what's called federalism, where you're not supposed to have one controller over everything. That's what's supposed to make us different.
Yeah.
You're in a country where it's supposed to be the opposite, where you're supposed to have that unification. So I still don't think they're going to run this out in less than 5 or 10 years. I just don't see the possibility happening. They can't keep the lights on in these museums. Now there's going to
I was just about to say, it
card.
seems like an absolute unnecessary cost. Would you not just put the money into the actual museums rather than creating this new identification system? I just feel like this is complete catch-22 here.
But isn't it possible that people would have like an ID living in the country anyways?
But it wouldn't be one that is guaranteed for sure. You're either in or you're out.
Yeah. Like for example, so I don't actually have, I'm Irish, but I don't actually have a UK identification. So I have my tax number for a UK, all right, but that's not on a physical. I'd have to go with my tax report to show that I'd be proving it. So there's no other real way to identify that I am a UK resident.
I think we're missing you know what a cock block is?
Oh, I do.
All right, but a legislative cock block is when you can't stop getting something from past, but you can put something in that makes it virtually impossible for it to happen in any kind of reasonable time frame. So the fact that this ID card has to be in place first before these charges are happening guarantees that this is not going to be happening anytime in the short term.
No. You're referring to the chicken type there now, is that right?
What do you mean?
When you refer to the cock block.
Oh,
of course. Yep. Let's keep it PG.
Sure. Since when have we been a PG show?
Never. Never.
But
I was just thinking. Just thinking about that last week, I was like, actually, do you know what? If I ever got a job working with kids or whatever, I'd have to like just have every part of this as explicit. And it's just like, you have to be 18 to watch this show. It's as bad as like Die Hard 2 or something.
Why would you want a job with kids? Kids
I love
horrible.
Kids. They're brilliant.
No,
they are.
No, not when you're getting paid to take care of them. No.
They're very playful.
No, when my kids were little, we used to have to, in order to get them into the school, we had to volunteer time every week in the school, in the classroom, as parents to help teach.
Such a hard life.
You can't smack a 5-year-old who's not yours. You can't even smack your own 5-year-old.
You can't smack your own 5-year-old. Oh my god!
What is this world coming to? Anyway, the point is, you've got to be nice to them.
Yes,
they're complete pains in the asses. Like no.
Jonathan, you're about to be a parent. It's not good to hit your children.
I'm not gonna.
No, actually, don't.
I'm just saying. From a household. Both my parents are teachers. My wife is a trained nursery nurse. She's not working in that right now. So I studied to become a teacher for like 3 years. So I have indeed had some experience in working with children.
With children. And
it does work if you're fit for the right age.
Okay.
I really like working with teenagers, for example.
Exactly.
I just don't like if they're too small and they're
just little assholes. They're just little assholes. I'll say I don't care.
My wife would say the same thing about teenagers, probably.
I only have taught college for more than 30 years for precisely that reason. Because even when I've taught kids who have been under 18, they have to sign paperwork. They are being held to standards of how adults act. Otherwise, you're not allowed in the classroom. Right? I am an adult teaching adults. If you don't want that, go away. Someone has to teach little kids. It's never going to be me. No, thank you. Nope.
Well, those kids can feed the next generation and educators in the future. Okay, so moving swiftly. Here we go.
So remember we had the Louvre heist?
Oh, we've had many stories about the Louvre.
Right? Okay, and they got in and out super quick there. Okay. So
Bing, bang, bang.
This was out in Italy at the Magnani Rocca Foundation, which is near Parma. Thieves broke in and got out in less than 3 minutes and got a Renoir, a Cézanne, and a Matisse. Now, to be fair, the Italian authorities responded within 4 minutes. But you know what? 60 seconds is a lifetime when it comes to getting in and out in 3 minutes, right?
Well, I'm sure they spent hours and hours meticulizing how much they were going to get it out so quickly, whereas the receiving people were not all that prepared.
So this is something like 10 million euros, $11 million worth of 3 paintings out and gone, 3 minutes.
Wow.
Crazy.
But like that, they're quite recognizable. You'd look at them and say, okay, well, that's a Cézanne. You're not going to be able to sell that anytime soon.
Honestly, it's hard to know because the black market on this stuff has grown considerably because the web makes it so much easier to find a buyer, right? In the past, you had to have a physical fence who then know someone to pass it along to. They can sit on it. You're right. It doesn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But they can find someone who will take possession of it in ways all digital. That's just. I think the reason these smash and grabs are happening, is what we're just talking about. These institutions are completely underfunded. So security is a joke. People are aware of this fact, right? We're in the middle of a global recession, even though no one wants to say it. And so, I can get $9 million worth of paintings in 3 minutes? What kind of moron doesn't try for that, right?
I get that, but there's nothing they can really do with it right now. Other than the fact that they've got it in their possession.
I'm pretty sure. We had a 17-year-old in Germany selling millions and millions worth of drugs 15 years ago through the dark web. So why wouldn't someone who just cares about having the painting, who has someone that has knowledge about dark web stores, buy it through Bitcoin channels and have it sent anonymously? there's so many ways of sending money and also goods so anonymously right now that I don't think it's a problem at all. Maybe they even like got it for someone that already like paid for it in advance.
Yeah.
That's
But
the stories I've heard.
What good is having that painting though if there's nothing you can do with them, even if you do buy it thereafter?
No. You are a private collector somewhere with money, right?
Yeah.
And means. And you're willing to pay someone to find someone for you. Like, you're not the one that's directly on the dark web. You have found someone who's acting as a facilitator on your side, who then finds someone on the other side. And these get placed as I need this, and this taken. And someone accepts a payment for it, and then delivers the deliverable. Like, thieves have been doing this for centuries. Like, this is nothing new. What makes it new is the ability to make it happen from a remote distance instead of having to physically have a communication with people in some kind of way.
And we kind of talked about this before as well, like with the worldwide recession, and there is like, it's not really a finite amount of money, but there's basically a certain amount of money in the world, and the recession just means it's getting split more unequally right now. So there's some people that really gain from all those crises. So maybe either they don't care like how much it is, they just want this in their private collection. They've always loved this painting, and say they have someone steal it for them, or even buy it after it got stolen. They don't care how it gets to them. They just
want it.
Have this like they just really want it. They really have a feeling that's so connected to this art piece. Like, that's probably like how most people buy our art anyways, is they have a feeling what this art is showing them. And if they just are in a different position money-wise than I am, they might be 10 million or something that is going to give me joy every day.
Yeah, it's where the money is just no option. It's just like, we're just going to...
I mean, they've done plenty of studies on this. Once you cross a certain threshold, the world changes for you, because money now is simply a tool to get everything else done for you, right? And so that's... I am willing to 100% guarantee what's fueling a certain amount of this is exactly that. But it's nothing new. Like, this has been done for centuries. It's not just paintings. It's not just statuary. Anything that a collector wants, right? Rare animals, pelts, you name it. This is how the world commerce has worked. Capitalism and colonialism and taking what you want. Ugh. Sorry, but it is. With that said, off we go to Japan. Now, let me ask you this. Could either one of you imagine Elvis's face in a rock?
No. Well, unless it was like sculpted specifically.
No. I'm saying not sculpted, but you find a rock and there's Elvis's face.
No way.
So there's a museum in Japan called the Museum of Face Rocks. It's nothing but rocks that have not been altered in any way. It's just what nature has given us. And amongst their collection is a rock with Elvis's face, amongst many other faces. Yep.
Is that the face?
There are some of the faces.
I have Elvis Presley, but I don't know if Emil has it as a picture. But
I may have Elvis too. I don't know which one. Which one is Elvis?
Oh no, it's literally labeled in the article Elvis Presley.
There you go. There's another one.
1,700 rocks that resemble human faces. These are called jinmenseki, or rock with human face. Yeah, jinmenseki, rock with human face.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought this was
loads
kind of cool. This to me just seems so quintessentially Japanese, right? Because like in America, someone would like try to hoard those face rocks for themselves. In Japan, instead, people find them and then they donate them, and then everybody gets to see the face rock. Right?
Some of them are quite cool. Some of them are just weird.
That's kind of the point, really.
I love...
It's definitely not a place I would go more than once.
No.
to me, when I teach these issues about like figurative art versus abstract art, what I often point out is that the key of figurative art often becomes abstract as you actually start to look at it, right? And so it's not a choice of one or the other. It's a spectrum between two different ways of focusing, of paying attention to certain things or not paying attention and letting your eyes defocus to see other things. So on the one hand, these are just rocks. Like a rock is a rock. This is about our pattern making ability as humans, that we have a need to see things in ways, right? And so it says more about us, just like abstract art. It says more about us than it is about the thing.
Do you have a favorite rock of the ones that we've just seen?
I liked Elvis. I thought the Elvis one was pretty cool. It had like the curled lip and the whole like flippy hair. And it was just like Elvis.
You'll have to go check that out in the article.
That was like fourth from the left and second from the bottom. Wait, you see that with the nose? Like
fourth from the left
and second from the bottom. That is hilarious.
There you go.
It's
the Museum of Rocks.
That's a big nose.
It's a big nose. That is a big nose.
I guess to me, this is like anything else. Like in the United States, there's the world's largest ball of twine, the world's largest ball of rubber bands. Like anything that can be a tourist attraction that will get people to like come off the road, stop for a minute, get some food, pay some time, some attention, right? So something like this to me, I just thought was like kind of cool and cute because it's not one thing; it's 1,700 of them.
It brings a whole new meaning to the emoji.
That's a lot of fucking rock.
It's a lot of rock. It's a lot of rock. And like somebody went off and found those. Did they actually like how did they come across them? Who was collecting them?
Well, this is Japan, right? So rocks come in from the ocean, rocks come down from the mountain, but people don't keep them for themselves. They donate them to the museum. The museum's not actively looking for rock faces. People give them to them.
Oh.
And so it's just a communal kind of thing that to me just seemed very quintessential Japanese. It's not about any one of us. It's about all of us. And why shouldn't we all enjoy this weird thing that nature has given us?
Yeah. Gotta love the Japanese.
Yep. So, boof, there you go. All right. You know Jeff Koons. I'm sure we all know Jeff Koons.
Yes.
He of the shiny balloon creatures. Yes?
Yes.
So, Evian, this thing, how old? Evian's 200 years old. I thought that was kind of weird. But so they're having a 200-year anniversary, and so they got Koons to design the labels for their bottles for the 200th anniversary. And it's probably not unsurprising. They are, of course, the balloon dogs. The balloon dog in blue and the balloon dog in red. Yeah, there's a picture of the man himself. He's the richest living artist that we have, folks. This guy's worth like $1 billion fucking dollars.
Wow. There you go. There's your little bottles. I think they look really cool. I really like the design.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
You know how Jeff Koons got started, though?
Well,
real estate.
Of course.
That's why he's such a good salesman.
He got his money, and then he was able to invest it back into himself.
Because he doesn't make any of these things himself, right? He has a whole workshop of people that do everything for him. That do the painting, that do the sculpting, that do the design work. He is the front face of an enterprise. Of Jeff Koons Limited, right? And so that's why that's what you do in real estate.
Yeah.
You find the right buyers, you sell them on what they want, you have a good story, and poof, you sell yourself a house.
Well, that's Koons is same as like Hans Zimmer and all the big like composers for for film as well. Like, how would one guy make soundtracks for 50 odd movies in a year that are all blockbuster insane? Like his crew is sick, but
it is. It's all in the crew. It's in the production team. You know, he's got extensive amounts of composers that are all essentially editors of his work. But this is like a Disney studio.
What I always say though is any of those of us who've done production behind the scenes, like, don't get high on your own supply. Whatever you're seeing is not how it's happening, right? Like, we should know better. How else are you going to scale? There's only so many hours in the week. There's only so much time your brain can put onto any one thing, right? Like, shit gets done because there's a whole bunch of people behind the scenes making stuff go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you should hire us as the professional contractors we are. Bring us the gigs. Bring us the money.
Josh, I don't think you have any more time to do any more gigs.
all three of us on this podcast right now, we all do the same thing, right? We're looking for clients. We're looking to make money.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Yeah, nothing like a bit of self-promotion there, Josh.
I'm just keeping it real. Anyhow,
absolutely. Boof is right. But I'll move into a great story now, because we're going to hear about you, Jonathan,
yep.
and your story. What is your story?
Yeah, so basically, I started taking photography more serious about 7 years ago. I did work in weddings as a student. I started having a photo booth while my dad was an amateur wedding photographer, like now 14 years ago. And in my time in London, I started shooting some weddings myself. And then 7 years ago, I really didn't see much of a future in what I was studying. So at first I studied maths, then I studied sports and maths to become a teacher. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Maybe being self-employed in something that I like doing is a way that is going to give me more joy. And so I thought, okay, photography is something that I really enjoy doing right now. Maybe I could make a business out of this. And beginning of 2020, I went to this workshop. I spent all the money I had. Literally, I had like 1,600 odd euros in my bank account. And the flight to the workshop and the workshop itself got me down to €5 in my bank account.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, the people that pay this amount of money, they take it seriously. I want to talk to them. Is this worth pursuing? So I started there, and they were like, yeah, you have what it takes. It's something that we really enjoy doing. So I thought, cool. I already had 10 weddings booked for the year, and I was going to second shoot for them, each of the 8 people there 3 times. So I would have 34 weddings that year.
Okay.
And then COVID hit. So I had no weddings that year. But I really had time, because uni was also not adapting to anything that was happening.
Yeah.
The digital age just passed them until that point. So I had all the time in the world, and I spent it in learning techniques when it comes to photography. I started learning marketing, and by the end of 2020, I went full time. I didn't go to any more uni courses. I was still in uni technically, but I was just like, because of COVID, you could add 2 years to your studies with no additional problems in Germany. So I thought, give me those 2 years, I'll take them. And then, since then, been growing in 2 separate ways. So I used my analytical thinking, anything that I learned in maths, but also is part of me, always has been, in my marketing, and also have my other business, which is wedding photography and videography. And that is like my main driver, because people in weddings, it's very oversaturated now, but it kind of wasn't because of COVID when I started. Loads of people quit, and loads of people just started after, and they didn't have the same marketing knowledge and the same analytical thinking, because most of them are more artistic. That sounded very, very close to autistic. They're way more artsy than I would describe myself. But since wedding couples, they only choose once. So if I can outpower everyone else in marketing, they're going to come to me first anyways. So I get hundreds of inquiries each year, and most of them actually like what I do. So that's something really cool. And then also I help service-based businesses, which I think are the future when it comes to local businesses anyways, because they can't be taken away by AI, to show up digitally better and more. And I really think these always have good stories, why they're doing this, and have happy customers. So I really want to show that to the world, and have this, like, I've done social media marketing in an agency. I really love SEO. I listen to a podcast nearly every day. For the past year, I'm there like 0.1% most listened viewer of this guy who does a daily podcast, and I'm like, how do you do this much and still give me so much value every time? Wow. He's just super smart. A little shout out to the Edward Show, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
He's mad. He's crazy. Has crazy guests as well. And yeah, so I really try to get service-based businesses off the ground and like build a brand that actually will last, even in AI. It doesn't matter. Like, it's all coming together now with all the AI coming in, all the marketing channels. They're becoming one. Before, you could only do SEO. You could only do Google ads. You could only do Instagram ads. You could only do TikTok, whatever. Now, AI is like getting smarter, and because of Gemini and Google AI, also the searches, they get smarter. AI overviews, you've seen them. You have, like, you had a problem with your dishwasher. You typed it into Google. The first thing that came up wasn't a website. It was the description of what you're trying to fix with the video attached with the right second
of
the TikTok video where it's explained how to do it.
Yeah,
so
that's insane.
You will need to think of everything more holistic. I know AA loves that word and everyone hates if I use that word, but it's actually true.
That's so true.
Holistic marketing is the future. And I try to explain to people how they can get their story out easier and help them do that.
Well, I would argue that that's always been the case, that brand presencing has to be unified and global in thinking. Otherwise, you don't have a brand. What you have is a bunch of ideas that don't mean anything in the marketplace. So I don't know that that's ever changed. The difference is the way we kind of put the channelization together. It's no longer channelized. It's everything at once, all at once.
Yeah. And even, like, obviously you could do that before if you're a big corporate brand, but if you're like a 3-man plumber team or a 2-man lawyer, whatever, and you couldn't do that. First of all, you don't have the time if you're doing service-based businesses. And second of all, the problem is, I've been in that position many, many times, is if you're looking at your business from the inside, you can barely understand what the customer looks at the business from the outside. So if you're trying to sell your art, in this case, as a service, like you want to make some artistic pieces, it doesn't matter. You are looking at it from the way you see it. But really, the only difference you can make is to actually understand how your clients see it. And if you can communicate that and how your clients feel, like even if you have, like, just hold up your phone whilst you're giving your artwork over to the client that you just made it for.
Yeah.
And film that and being like, why did you decide to buy this? And how does it make you feel? If you ask these 2 questions and put those on social media, you're going to have so many more
interest.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Because that's what they care about.
And what did you say your TikTok numbers are up to?
So in the past year, I went from 0 to, I think, 1.6 million women between 25 and 35 reached in Germany in the past year. So basically anyone who would get married.
Wow, you've literally...
And the people who decide, obviously the brides.
That too. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, or the grooms in some cases.
But that...
In my case.
I have like 5% reach in male audience.
Yeah.
But the point is, that was iterative growth based on the strategy you just talked about, right?
Yeah.
Get responses, propagate them, let it build, do it again, keep going.
Yeah. No, it's
obviously, like there's a very limited amount of time where grooms decide the photographer.
Yeah. Well, in a gay marriage, it will be the groom.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I figured that was where you're going.
Yes.
But, it's still like in most like that makes sense with the 5%.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it makes sense though in your strategy, because you are taking on board, as you said, a holistic approach. And I think it's what I'm taking from this, and probably bringing it back to our audiences, especially is the mix between the analytical and the creative, and how the importance of both, especially now in how you're marketing anything that you're marketing. It has to have something authentic to stand out from the saturation. Jonathan, how do we find out more about you and your work and what you're doing and all of that?
You can basically find me anywhere at this point.
Okay.
But my main thing is schüßler.com, CHUZLAIRE.
We'll put that link in the bio.
Down below.
And then, that's all my
there's no way someone who's not German is going to be like, what?
Well, I have your name in the little caption there as well in the title card,
Yeah.
so you can spell it out that way too. But we'll put the direct link into all of our descriptions across all of our medias, so people can check out your wonderful work and everything that you're doing. And if they feel like they're going to get in touch with you to avail of your services, you sound fantastic, and really approachable too, which I think is something that a lot of people really want from their photographer, and also from somebody who's going to help them survive this madness that is the AI world. Anywho, Jonathan, you've been a wonderful guest, and we've had a great time spilling tea with you today. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you much for having me.
No problem. No problem.
Please come on back.
Yes, absolutely. We can.
I would love to.
100%. 100%. We'll let you know, and you keep us posted on when there's other things that are coming up with you as well, and we'll share them with all of our followers and guests. Not that you need the support, because you've got so many followers.
I don't have many followers. I just have a good reach in the audience.
A good reach.
About followers.
The reach is good. I know, it's good. Anywho's, that's all we have time for today, folks. But until next week, stay creative, stay spilling tea, and we'll be right here back next Thursday. So
82.
Back for 82 with a brand new guest. See you then, folks. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.